The difficulty is this, that the need to green things, and its shorthand, is the need to bring our economic and social footprint within what the planet can sustain. I mean, the one thing which is scarce, I mean, there's no scarcity of human ingenuity, there's no scarcity of natural resources to be exploited in a realistic sense. The Earth's crust's quite big. There's a lot of it. The real scarcity is the planet's capacity to absorb waste streams. That is what we're short of. And currently we're treating the planet as though it was just unlimited. And it isn't. And it's catching up with us rather spectacularly because we've done so much research on climate. We know so much more about the atmosphere and the atmosphere-ocean interface as a result of 20 years and mind-bogglingly large sums of money. I mean, it's been a really incredible ride. We know a fraction in many other environmental areas. But I mean, so what's green is really about absorptive capacity of the planet. And so, in a sense, all economic activity has to be greener. There's not two bits. There's not there's sort of an economic bit, and then there's a green economic bit. Just like there can't really be a green innovation bit and then another sort of innovation bit. It's all got to be linked up.
We are at this pivot point. It is time to move, and move dramatically. And that doesn't mean, and as Simon just says, you press on every button you have. Everything is all of a sudden green. And so it means radical innovations, which I guess we're looking for a silver bullet. I wouldn't look too hard, right? Several. But it means trillions and billions of incrementals, too, which I think can get you closer than you might think. And it was said it's more than just technological innovation. There's a lot of non-technological innovation. And that's one of the areas where I think we fall down on in the science, technology, and innovation. I guess what I like about the next production revolution work is that now our council and mainstream policymakers are beginning to realize this kind of bottom-up micro economics is important for the macro scene, and they've seized on it as one of the themes for this coming June's ministerial meeting. Okay, I think we need differentiated innovation policies. We're not really good at this. I think so many innovation policies tend to fixate on one thing, R&D. I think we need to differentiate between startups, many of which are digital these days, versus legacy sectors, which have completely different innovation needs. And tailor things, as I said, you need to differentiate between tech and non-tech innovation. Non-tech innovation can be hugely important. If you can make something popular or fad or a new business model, this can have both negative or positive effects. If we're going to find some very neat solutions for green whatever, won't come from the environment and energy fields, which is where we show this figure of their R&D going down. It's going to come from completely different areas and be applied in a much different way than we would have ever guessed. For example, it's not the automobile companies that come up with the driverless car or the automatic car.
You have made the key objective of this Green Growth Sustainable Development Forum, which is to identify first knowledge gap and help prioritize next step required to address these gaps. The intention of this event is to tackle horizontal and cross-cutting green growth issues, themes. Systems innovation is a perfect example that cuts so widely across nearly everything we do and everything that is required in order to transition to a greener growth trajectory. Next year's OECD Green Growth and Sustainable Development Forum 2016 will focus on spatial planning, land use, and urban green growth, most likely in November 2016 here at the OECD headquarters in Paris. Yet another cross-cutting issue that is critical for green growth. Returning to this year's forum and the subject of innovation, I hope this forum has generated momentum for further policy research on green innovation and to approach this from a broader and integrated systems perspective. Our contribution to realizing a greener future depends on it. Before concluding, I'd like to raise this report again. Yesterday, Secretary General Angel Guia mentioned aligning policies for low carbon economy. I have two reasons to suggest you to read it. First, this report contains innovation, so you can review the discussion yesterday. And this has a chapter on urban mobility, sustainable land use chapter. So you can prepare the next year's forum.